Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, members of the National Assembly here present, members of Federal Executive Council, Your Excellencies, ambassadors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am privileged to make these remarks on this auspicious occasion of the commissioning of the new terminal building at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. It is more delightful and satisfying that our most revered leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, is here by himself to personally perform the commissioning ceremony. It was in this city, this amazing city, where I lived 27 years of my life, struggling it out, that we coined the slogan, GMB means business. GMB stands for General Muhammadu Buhari at that time. This occasion is a testimony to the fact that indeed PMB means business. The terminal you are about to commission, Mr. President, has the capacity to process 14 million passengers per annum. There are 66 number check-in counters, 5 number baggage collection carousels, 16 number immigration desks at arrival, 28 number desks at departure, 8 number security screening points, 6 number passenger boarding bridges with remote boarding and arrival. Other facilities include 2 number food courts, 4 number premium lounges, 22 number guest rooms and spas, 16 number airline ticketing offices, visa on arrival and port health facility, praying areas, more than 3,000 square meters of duty-free spaces, and over 5,000 square meters lettable utility spaces. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start by stating that aviation provides the only rapid worldwide transportation network, which makes it essential and most important infrastructure for global logistical ecosystem. It boosts economic growth, creates jobs, and facilitates international trade, commerce, and tourism, ultimately raising the standards of living of the teeming population. Aviation remains the only medium to achieving continental integration and interaction, the dream of the African Union Agenda 2063. Permit me to state that a recent aviation sector study for Nigeria by International Air Transport Association, IATA, in June 2020 showcases the significant contribution of air transportation to the national economy through providing 241,000 jobs, direct and indirect, and a contribution of 1.7 billion to the national economy. However, overall goal is to grow the aviation sector contribution from current 0.6% to 5% approximately, meaning 14.166 billion US dollars. In the same vein, IATA projects the air transport market in Nigeria is focused under the current trend scenario to grow by 174% in the next 20 years. This will result in additional 9.4 billion passenger journeys by 2037. If met, this increased demand would support approximately 4.7 billion US dollar GDP and almost 555,700 jobs, 555,700 jobs. This is according to IATA. Mr. President, sir, when this government came into power in 2015, the aviation industry was faced with many challenges, some of which were unemployment of professionals, scarcity of foreign exchange, budgetary constraints, sustainability of waiver of aircraft and spares, and decaying and aging infrastructure and obsolete equipment, poor and intolerable conditions of airport facilities and equipment, as well as blocked airline funds, to mention but a few. Since you took over, Mr. President, you have done quite a lot. You've been solving these problems. they've been reduced to barest minimum. A case in point is when this country was under recession in 2016, when the price of crude has dropped from $140 to a barrel to 27. When we were in recession, when we've taken over power newly, Mr. President approved and released the sum of $600 million blocked funds belonging to international airlines. Consequently, the Aviation Roadmap was developed and graciously approved by Mr. President on 18th of October, which includes the national carrier, airport concession, maintenance and repair overhaul facility, aviation leasing company, agro-allied cargo terminals, as well as aerospace university, and so on. The roadmap projects are being undertaken through PPP, and the ministry has been working very closely with ICRC to ensure we have credible and transparent process that will result in value for money. In particular, the airport concession project, including the new terminals, has reached advanced stage. The ministry will be issuing requests for proposal to the shortlisted firms before the end of March this year. We also expect to announce a partner in second quarter of 2022 and hand over in Q4 2022. Mr. President, sir, in 2015, the total passenger number was a mere 8 million. With the implementation of some of this roadmap policy, the passenger figure grew to about 18 million in 2019. In 4 years, we grew from 8 to 18 million, making aviation the fastest growing sector of the national economy pre-COVID, according to Federal Ministry of Budget, Finance and National Planning and MBS. Your Excellency may wish to note that despite the devastating impact of COVID-19 on the global aviation industry, the domestic industry has grown leaps and bounds, becoming the third fastest growing sector of this economy, even with COVID. And this is Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. Ladies and gentlemen, pardon me. It is important to mention that the country stands to gain significant benefits in restoring and maintaining connectivity within, to, and from the country Nigeria. Analysis from IATA shows that aviation sector provides 341 billion naira GDP contribution. Within the period under review, 160,000 local jobs created and 535 billion expenditure from visitors will be solely generated from restoring and maintaining this connectivity. Consequently, therefore, sir, these are numbers that are at risk if that connectivity is threatened by the continuous travel restrictions due to COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. President, aviation business suffers from issues of access to foreign exchange by local and foreign airlines and the ability to repatriate block funds. Nigeria currently holds $283 million of foreign airline funds in the country. I'd like to humbly request the support of the Central Bank of Nigeria through the directive of Mr. President to prioritize access to foreign exchange for all carriers, both local and foreign, and to work out mechanism to clear the backlog, the existing backlog, and urgently prevent subsequent build-up for the global health of the economy. Mr. President is aware of the recent chaos in the sector caused by lack of Jet A1. Flights were unduly delayed and or cancelled unpleasantly. While apologizing to our teaming passengers, even though this is global, I wish to use this medium to humbly request Mr. President to direct the NNPC to import Jet A1 in good quantities and devise means to sustain supply, as well as directing the Central Bank to allocate foreign exchange for the major marketers to sustain the supply. Mr. President, I would like to respectfully assure you and the general public that the ministry is committed to proper maintenance of all terminal buildings and will integrate them with the infrastructure to ensure the passengers and other users have pleasant experiences each time they make use of these edifices. I must pause here for a while to thank you, Mr. President, on the carbon offsetting and reduction scheme for international aviation, otherwise known as CORSIA, designed to lower carbon carbon emissions for international flights to curb the aviation impact on climate change. It was developed by International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, and adopted in October 2016, and its goal is to have a carbon neutral growth from 2020 in 3 phases. Mr. President, you approved, and consequently Nigeria volunteered to join the pilot scheme, and as today, there are 107 countries participating in the scheme. At this juncture, I would like to extend our deepest appreciation to you for ensuring adequate funding for various aviation sector projects, including the Enugu Airport, Maiduguri, and Abuja airports, among many. I'd like to thank you, the relevant stakeholders, including leadership of the aviation committees in National Assembly, for consistent legislative support, while making a particular mention of the recent passage of the Amendment Bill of the Act Civil Aviation. This act, Mr. President, was first enacted in 1963. And nothing was done to this act until in 2006 when we tinkered with it. And today we are having a brand new Civil Aviation Act waiting for your assent. Mr. President, the other name for aviation since you took over in 2015 is growth, growth, and growth. We have in Nigeria successfully debunked the gospel truth that aviation doubles every 15 years. Currently, in Nigeria, the number of airports, including those currently being developed, has doubled. The passenger number has quadrupled. Other entrepreneurship, including catering and ground handling, has blossomed. Number of airlines and jobs have quadrupled. And Mr. President, thank you for this growth.
Please celebrate the poster boy God is giving to us, and thanks to Mr. President.